Okay, so factoring by grouping. This is hopefully the way that you factor a trinomial, which will make it a lot easier. But let me run you through a couple examples. So maybe you start with something that looks a little different than what you're used to, in that it starts out with 4 terms instead of 3. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at this as 2 separate problems to start with, okay? I'm going to look at it as 2wx plus 10w, and then I'll come back and deal with the 7x and 35. So for the first two, the key to this is GCF. What can I take out of 2wx and 10w? In other words, what's the GCF of those 2 terms? I hope you said it's 2w, okay? So if I take 2w out, I'm left with x plus 5, because 10 divided by 2 is 5, and the w is on the outside. All right, always bring down this middle sign. The middle sign stays whether it's plus or minus, okay? What is the GCF of 7x and 35? And I hope you said 7. And so what's left is x plus 5. So here's where the grouping part comes in. If you look, these 2 binomials are exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that binomial out. I'm going to factor out the binomial as the GCF. So I'm going to put x plus 5 on the outside, and what I'm left with is 2w plus 7. And now this one has been grouped. Now let me show you another example, because when the middle sign is minus, it gets a little bit trickier. So let's say I start with xy minus 2y minus x plus 2. So again, 4 terms. I'm asked to group, so I'm going to slash. What can I take out of, or what is the GCF of xy and negative 2y? I hope you said y. And it leaves me with x minus 2. Okay? Remembering to always keep this middle sign. This time it's different because there's a subtraction in the middle. So what I have to do is I have to remember that whatever the GCF I take out of here, it's really a negative because of the minus, okay? So this, the GCF here is 1 because there's nothing that can go into both of them. What happens is when this middle sign is minus, it has to change whatever this sign is, okay? Now if it's plus, everything stays the same, but when the middle is minus, we have to change that last sign also. Now if you notice, these 2 binomials match, and remember this doesn't work if they don't match. So if they don't match, either you can't group it or you've done something wrong. Okay, so x minus 2 goes on the outside, and it leaves me with y minus 1. So there's my y, my minus 1. And now that has been grouped.